My name is Aliki Thomas. I am an associate professor at the School of Physical and Occupational Therapy at McGill University, and also a scientist at the Institute for Health Sciences Education, also in the Faculty of Medicine at McGill. I am a researcher who's interested in how we help learners in the health professions to embrace and apply the principles of evidence-based practice. So my research is primarily at the intersection of education for scholarly practice and clinical practice, and particularly in the second area, I'm interested in knowledge translation that looks at what are the gaps that are present in clinical practice, the gaps between available scientific evidence and its use in clinical practice. So my work is very much at the intersection between education and clinical practice. So my presentation today, entitled Leveraging Knowledge Translation and Implementation Science in the Pursuit of Evidence-Informed Health Professions Education, is really an opportunity to discuss and to hear the audience's thoughts about how the principles from knowledge translation and implementation science could be used as a lens through which to think about educational practices and policies to ensure that they are informed by the best available scientific evidence. So thinking about how can these two areas of growth, knowledge translation and implementation science, how can they be used as opportunities for us to move the evidence-informed health professions education agenda forward? Three messages would be that there is a drive within health professions education as a field. There is a drive towards, and an emphasis, I would say, towards ensuring that our educational practices and policies are informed by the best available evidence. So there is a drive for that. That is something that's being increasingly emphasized. The second is that there is an increasing body of literature in health professions education that I think that as scholars and educators and learners, we need to think about whether it is relevant, whether it is ready for implementation, and whether that evidence is robust so that we could arguably begin to move that evidence progressively into clinical and educational practices and policies as well. And my third point would be about presenting the audience with what knowledge translation and implementation science is all about, and offering a few opportunities for how those two areas could be used, both in terms of what it means to translate knowledge, but also what are the methods and the theories and some of the conceptual frameworks that we can borrow from implementation science and bring those into health professions education to move the agenda of evidence-informed HPE forward. So those would be my three major messages for the talk today.